Would you let the system, oh, would you let the system get into your head again? No, that now. Hey. Yes, good evening from Houston, Texas, United States of America. This is Smart Madu Ajaja, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International, welcoming you to our Saturday live broadcast from our studios here in Houston. Yeah, I've missed being here because I am everywhere. That is why you see me most times broadcasting from my car. Yes, how are you guys doing? I hope you are having a great weekend, just as it is here. It's beautiful, 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 looking beautiful. Yes, yes. How are you? We got so much things to say, so much things everywhere. Well, this broadcast is not supposed to be what I'm supposed to be doing today. I was supposed to be talking about America without borders, without neighbors. But an event in Nigeria had to eclipse that. Yes, so much is taking place in my home country, Nigeria. A lot is taking place in that beautiful edifice that has been turned into hell on earth by some of its citizens. Yes, driven by greed and economics. Yes, yes. How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? All right, let's get cracking. 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, well, a little bit of background information about the state of insecurity in Nigeria. Nigeria has been circled, seriously circled, by mercenaries. Yes, from everywhere in West Africa. Some come from the Sahel. Some were people who were driven away from Libya with a lot of arms and ammunition when Libya was destabilized. Majority of the guns came into the Sahel, and a good number of them, yes, got into Nigeria. And terrorist organizations, yes, two, actually three, a lot. But the chief one is from Boko Haram, yes. Hey, Yakta from Iran, how are you? Nice to meet you. Hey, Mecca, thank you very much. Please share this broadcast. Where are my Nigerian people? Where are my Nigerian people? Iranians, Americans, and everybody is here. Nigeria, where are you? Get represented, because this is about you. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mecca. It's a pleasure having you here. Please broadcast, share, comment, ask questions that you are. Then Faizu from Indonesia. Okay, Mecca from England. Thank you very much. I'm appreciative very much. And Prabuddha from India. Thank you very much. Oh, you say I look like an Indian. Okay, well, I am from everywhere. I'm a global citizen. Thank you very much for joining us. You live in America. Whoa, wow. It would be nice to meet you. Love from here, man. I appreciate you. Yes, and SL Pace Gaming from the Vatican City, Rome. Oh my God, today is something hard. Yeah, we're talking about Nigeria. And then Carlo from Croatia. Whoa. Yes, come on, the people of the world. Yes, what we do at ONN, we are a global movement, growing and looking for ways, to make the world a better place. So don't be a stranger here. Please, don't be a stranger. Be part of us. Be Nigerian, be African, be a citizen of the world. Yes, because the world has become such a global village. Yes, the topic of today is about Nigeria, the mayhem in Nigeria, the insecurity in Nigeria. Nigeria is a very beautiful country with a population of over 250 million people. Even if we are not able, to count ourselves, you are with support all the way. Thank you. Yes, Cario, thank you for your subscription. If you have not subscribed, please Do us a favor, help us grow. And our mission is to grow organically, so that whenever we come on stream, we are talking to real people here in real time, and problem solvers from across the world. Those are the type of people we want. That is why we are not so desperate about anything we want. Whenever we come here, let it come from your mind to be to be supportive of what we are doing, or to be part of the movement that we represent. It's a global movement for justice, peace, and security. I know everybody wants it. We don't want to cascade into another world war like some people want it, but this is where it is. It's about Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria is a multi-ethnic country with over 350 ethnic groups. Yes, and the country was a British colony. Yes, arising from an amalgamation in 1914. Yes, a troubled amalgamation that was put together for the benefit of the European imperialists. They put these people together. There was no formal agreement among the people that they wanted to be one country. So those who thought that for their economic convenience, put us together as one country. All right, but they did not do a good job at integrating the people. They played us against one another. And when they said they gave us the independence, Greek independence, they handed us death weapons, dangerous weapons. And the country cascaded into an orgy of violence that got worse in 1967. So between 1967 and 1970, there was this mayhem that some people tell us was a civil war. But in actual sense, it was a genocide against one race that asked a question about the structure of Nigeria. They wanted a Nigeria that would be open to free, fair, equal, unlimited, and unconditional access to opportunity for the citizens to be whatever positive they want to be, yes, in order to grow and develop, progress and prosper according to their abilities and the levels of competency in a non-threatening environment. But some people will not have it. Some people claim that they own Nigeria more than the rest of us. And these people have been the problem, Achilles heel of a problem. They have elites, acolytes from across the country with whom they connive to hold the country and ease people down. Now, yes, when unlike terms are brought together, people come together. I live in the United States. Kekta, I'm happy that you live here. And we all get along. You see the way you welcome me here. It didn't matter that you are from Iran. I'm from Nigeria. Whenever we meet, we are the best of friends. Some of my best friends are from Pakistan. I have one guy, Basim. Maybe Basim will be listening now because he always joins us to watch our production. Basim, I actually did business with him, huge volumes of business worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, for more than 3 years before he went and found another business. So that's the thing. But in Nigeria, I don't understand why we cannot live together in peace and harmony. Before we say anything, somebody is telling you about religion. Another one is telling you about tribe. These were the things that were planted that we have not been able to exercise from our brains and from our hearts so that we can build a real country. Nigeria is very, very endowed with natural and mineral resources, but it benefits just only a few, yes, who lord it out on the generality of our people. The situation has gotten so bad now, it's getting out of control. Since the past maybe 20-something years, Nigeria has not known peace. And the situation has continuously and progressively gotten worse to where we are right now, where farmers are not able to access their farms. People cannot travel on the roads, with safety in mind. People sleep with their eyes open. Women are being raped. Children are being abducted from their schools and taken into captivity, where people demand for ransom, not just a little penny, a lot of money and ransom. Yeah, and the people now have representatives in the government of Nigeria. Yes, the vice president, the rogue vice president, I would call him, is one a terrorist with ties to Boko Haram. The minister of defense of Nigeria is a bandit with ties to terrorist organizations. You know, and a lot of them in government. It did not with this rogue only government. The one before it was purely, entirely, nearly all people with sentiment, you know, for respect and ties, connection with those who are terrorizing the country. Yes, with dangerous ammunition. They have killed thousands. Last year alone, in 2023, it was recorded that 600,000 Nigerians were murdered through the act of terrorism and banditry. Far much more than what we are hearing, this big war that Russia and Ukraine is fighting. Far much more than a combination of what is taking place between the Russians and the Ukrainians and what is taking place in Gaza. Yes, in Gaza, between Gaza and Israel. See, it's crazy. And Nigeria is said to be at peace. This is a wartime death rate, not normal death, violent death. Something got to give. And the people driving this don't want to give up. You know, they don't have human feeling. They don't care. They are insensitive. They are inhuman. They are savage. They are wicked. They are evil. They are selfish. They are greedy. They are ambitious. They don't know God, but they put God in front of what they are saying. A man who knows God will not kill other human beings. So they want to destroy Nigeria and then run the people out of their country so they can take it and sell it to waiting imperial forces. And this is the reason we are waking Nigerians up, telling them the truth about their country. That's the only country we have. We must not willingly hand it over because we are afraid of death. We must stand up and defend the country. We must stand up for our lives. We must stand up for our rights. We must stand up for our children. We must stand up for their future. We must stand up for Nigeria. We must stand up for the future of Nigeria, deep into the future. So that is why we are here. That is why you hear someone like me standing up from 10,000 miles away from Nigeria, you know, doing my best, you know, trying to connect with my brothers and sisters in Nigeria, telling them about the dangers of keeping quiet when a few people are running amok in their country. So that's what it is. So 2 days ago, some Nigerians were traveling, they were said to be traveling. The story is not, we have not completely gotten a hand on the total story, but with pieces of information we are putting things together, knowing fully well that I was born there, and I've spent more than half of my life there. I'm spending more than another half of my life here in the United States. I've been here since 1996. So you know what that means. 29 years ago I came here. Next year will be 30 years that I've been outside Nigeria. But I'm a frequent flyer to Nigeria. But because of what I'm doing right now, I've put myself on a self-exile to be able to be useful. Because if I go there, not because I'm scared of being arrested, they want this voice to be silenced. And this voice has become so dangerous and causing confusion in the enemy's camp. Yeah, enemy combatants that have taken arms against their country. Yes, they control our armed forces, they control our legislature, they control everything. The people, majority of the people have no access to anything. Millions of Nigerians go to bed on empty stomachs. Yes, young graduates who left school 10 years ago still cannot find jobs. Some of them are driving what they call Okada. They drive motorcycle for transportation. You see, a lot of them have engineering degrees. Some have medical degrees. You can imagine doctors in Nigeria have no jobs. Nurses have no jobs. Yes, scientists who are supposed to be in the lab doing researches, they have no job. The country has been paralyzed because of its tragedy of leadership provided by men who know next to nothing. Yes, how can a thug be a leader? And then you expect a stellar performance for him, or you expect for him to build a Dubai. Yes, the rogue president of Nigeria once lived here. When he lived here, he was a drug dealer, commercial drug dealer. America has his details. The FBI has his details. He was prosecuted here and made to pay 500,000 US dollars before he was let go from here. He became a senator on arrival in Nigeria, and then from there he became a state governor, and then he expanded his evil mission to be able to buy up the armed forces. He bought up the judiciary. He bought the traditional institution. He bought the drivers of the so badly organized private sector in Nigeria. He bought the youths. Yes, the youths. He bought the student organizations. The student organization used to be the best defenders of human rights in Nigeria, but today they are corrupt. They are horrible. And those are the future of Nigeria. You see how bleak things are. You wonder why Nigeria is falling apart the way it is. Some people don't want us to talk about it because it is not politically correct. But I am not driven by political correctness. I'm driven by spiritual and moral correctness. I'm driven by what is right for everybody. Yes, that we are citizens of that country, and so we must have equal and free access to opportunity to be whatever we want to be and to be anywhere in the country. Now, look at my forearm here. If you look very carefully, you will see a mark. Yes, I was injured in Kano in the north of Nigeria in 1991. It was like a war. Yes, they call it the Kano riot. What happened? Somebody came from Germany, Reinhard Bonnke. It was a German preacher who came. Hey, Maxi Lopez, how are you? Thank you very much. Carlo, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, and he came to preach in that city. I didn't go to the preaching ground. I'm a medical worker, healthcare worker in a hospital, and all I heard was that people were being slaughtered. Then I ran into it. Yes, the driver who took me from the hospital where I was working got to a place and decided he wasn't going. I said, okay, please take me back to where you took me. He said, no, Kai, Sauka. Sauka means get out, come down, get down from the car. And I left the car. And then what I saw horrified me. To God, I don't even know how I escaped that very first one. That very first one, I didn't know. I saw people with axes. I saw people with daggers. I saw people with guns. I saw people with the various types of dangerous arms and ammunition. Then they were in their thousands. This is not, I don't even know how I left that place. I don't know what happened. I just said, all right, if this is it, this is it. But luckily, I found myself at the campus of the Bayero University, Kano. Yes. When I got that place, that place had been ransacked. There was no student everywhere. The place was desolate. I spent a few minutes there and then started walking along the line of the old Kano wall that is over 1,000 years old. Yes, I started, and there was a rail line, right beside the fence. I kept on. Then I started seeing vehicles that were burnt down, dead bodies everywhere. So I managed to escape, then got close to my estate. Then I saw these mobs again. Little kids, but armed, dangerously armed. They came and they're charging at me. I fought my way out of that and then was able to get into my house. You know what I did? I went and saw my neighbor with whom we were living in the same apartment complex. Yes, his name was Aminu. His name was Aminu. I walked up to Aminu. I say, Aminu. Aminu was an educated person. Yes. I said, Aminu, I am in trouble. And I know that these people are going to come in the night. What can you do? Can I put up with you so I can be safe where you are? Aminu point blank told me that no, I cannot keep you. And if they come, I will hand you over to them. Yeah, that was what Aminu told me. I wish there's a way, we didn't have a phone the way we have now. I would have loved to interview Aminu one of these days. Yes, I don't know if he remembers now. I was living in Gedi, Kano at the time. Gedi Court Road. That was where I lived in Kano at the time. Aminu turned his back on me, my fellow Nigerian, my supposed brother Nigerian. He turned his back on me. Why? Because he believed I wasn't a Muslim. He turned his back on me. I'm a human being created by the Almighty God. He turned his back on me so that when they came, they would kill me. But I had to devise a way, so a new survival skill, how I was going to go through the night, because I know definitely they were going to come. So what I do, I had to clear the fence around where the house where we lived, and went to the back and removed all bottles. They put bottles on top of those fences so that thieves will not be able to scale them. So I used my machete to level those bottles, made them nice, and then put a blanket on top of them. That's where I went to lie down. And true to what I told you, at night they came. They were killing from house to house. These are Nigerians, killing from house to house, killing fellow defenseless and innocent Nigerians. They were killing them from house to house. I was hearing people crying with their throats being slit. Yes, yes, this is my testimonial. Yes, they killed all through the night. And then down came. They came to my house. I left the door open for them. They came in, took whatever they wanted to take. They didn't set the house ablaze because it was owned by a fellow Muslim who was either a Fulani or somewhere else. That was how. Because if they knew that it was not owned by any such person, they would set the house ablaze. So we passed through that night. Now, it was in the morning. What do I do? How do I get out of here without being killed? I made the first attempt. As soon as I came out from the gate, I saw those young mobs again. I ran back into the yard, closed the gate. After 3 hours, I came out again. The road was a little bit calm. Then I saw this young man walking. So we became friends, we became buddies. We trekked for over 5 miles. We were almost getting to the place where we could be safe, where they call Sabongeri. Sabongeri means where people who are not indigenous. Can you hear that in Nigeria? Here, I am a Nigerian. I go to a place, somebody tells me that I am not an indigene of that place. So you have to be here, this way you belong. Yes. So majority of those who were non-Hausas, non-Fulanis, lived in Sabongeri. And that's where they could practice anything. That's where most of the churches were. That was where most of the places where you can drink alcohol was. Yes. In my country, Nigeria, my country. So, we kept on trekking. Just as we got close to Sabongeri, something happened. My friend was grabbed. They grabbed him. And before I knew it, he was already, his neck was off. They slit his throat, cut off his neck. I saw him jerking, but I couldn't help him. They came for me. That's when they stabbed me here. They were looking for my chest because they know where to go. So I took the stab with this because I used to practice karate. So I took it and took the dagger from the guy. And that was all I knew. So I went blank. I didn't know anything. I didn't know what happened from there. I saw police officers watching this whole thing happening. Police officers who were either Fulanis or Hausas. They did absolutely nothing to stop those people, to stop the assailant. And that practice has continued to this day. All right? And now, I went into a gas station. Something said, get the hell out of this gas station. Get the hell out of this gas station. So I left. A few seconds after I left, that gas station was up in flames. Now, I was caught in the crossfire of those who were defending themselves and those who want to kill everybody. Bullets were flying all over. So I had to take a dive, took a chance. Well, I wasn't worried anymore. I just said, well, let me just do what I have to do. I did something, and then it happened to work out for me. I was bleeding. I didn't even know. And then one woman said, hey, you are bleeding so badly. You are bleeding so badly. So I stopped. He said, I am not an enemy. I have come to save you. Just stop. So the woman heard me. She put something on my hand to stop the bleeding. She took me to her house. Nice woman. Nice woman. She took me to her house. I went to her house. She was living in a 2-story building. I went upstairs. She gave me a plate of rice to eat. But the plate of rice, my hands were jerking. The plate of rice fell off, and then the plate got shattered. I started crying. She told me, calm down. My brother is a soldier. We're waiting for him. He's going to take all of us to the military barrack. So I said, okay. Then I asked her something. Can you give me a nylon paper? She said, sure. So she gave me a nylon paper. I had my international passport with me. So I put the passport inside the nylon paper, tied it. I had only one shirt and one pant and my shoes. I tied my nylon paper and then went downstairs. I saw a river behind our house. I can swim. So I looked, I said, man, I don't know what is on the other side. So I went, I dived inside that river, and then swam across. Where I came out was the Air Force Base. Wow, I felt relieved. Air Force Base. That was where I saw thousands of Nigerians. Thousands of Nigerians in their country. In their country. Thousands of Nigerians in their country. Displaced from their homes with various horrifying stories about their experiences in the areas of Kano where they lived. Pregnant women were cut open, fetuses brought and then cut into bits and pieces. People were given the option of being stabbed to death and then jumping into the well and they lock it. My country, Nigeria. And I'm sad that nothing has changed. Instead, it has gotten worse. Every year in Nigeria gets worse. The previous years are always better. The whole of the world is progressing. Nigeria is retrogressing into anarchy because of the tragedy of leadership. This leadership, 10 of those who have led Nigeria, 10 of those who have led Nigeria came from the north of Nigeria. Yes, this Achilles heel of Nigeria. Those who come as northerners, but not as Nigerians. They come as northerners, never as Nigerians. They come as northerners. They come in the name of the North. But you know what? The people of Nigeria in the North account for 90% of the poor people in the country. They live in abject squalor and poverty. They are denied access to education. As we speak right now, right this minute, over 30 million poor Nigerians between the ages of 6 and 15 are on the streets of Nigeria, in the north of Nigeria, begging for alms, in a country that is so endowed with natural and mineral resources. Yes, that is Nigeria. Yes, that is the Nigeria I don't want. This is the reason I am advancing a cause for an open Nigeria. But it hasn't been easy driving this ideology in a country that is so divided along religious, tribal, and regional lines. Not because the people want to be divided, but because they listen to the wrong voices. They listen to the wrong voices in the mosques. They listen to the wrong voices in the churches. They listen to the wrong voices at the traditional level. Nobody is listening to the voice of truth and the voice of wisdom and the voice of liberation. Nigeria is a hell of a place. Forget about what you hear about Nigeria. Nigeria is not the country that it ought to be. Nigeria has been hijacked. But now let's go back to that story. These people, these Nigerians who were mobbed in a town they call Uromi in Edo State, they said, according to stories, what we heard, even I heard from the rogue president of Nigeria, I heard what is stated in one of the Nigerian newspapers, that those people were hunters. Yes, these people came from the north of Nigeria. They are Nigerians. Yes, they are from that part where people would say that they are northerners and not Nigerians. So when you are in Nigeria, you hear a northerner, they give them this false idea of a sovereign entity called North. They don't see themselves as Nigerians. They proclaim North because that's what have been knocked into their heads for generations. They only come to Nigeria when it is time for them to be used to blackmail and intimidate Nigeria. Yes, thousands of mercenaries, militias are in forests across Nigeria. They claim that they are hunting. But I'm going to tell you something about Nigerian laws. And the people who caught them, I feel so sad that they mobbed them and killed them. That is jungle justice. They ought to have arrested them and taken them to the police for prosecution. But guess what? These people are so connected that when they are taken to the police is controlled by the elites there. See, that's how badly skewed Nigeria is. They will call them and then they release them and they go back to business. I don't want to believe that these ones that were mobbed were terrorists or bandits armed to kill our people. But the situation in Nigeria, the security situation in Nigeria is such that now the people have no choice but to defend themselves because the security forces, Nigerian security forces, don't defend Nigerians. Why? Because they have been hijacked. Their command and control infrastructure are in the hands of these people holding Nigeria in captivity. So whenever they are deployed, they deploy them to kill innocent and defenseless Nigerians. So the people of Nigeria don't trust them anymore. So that is why you are seeing the rise of jungle justice across Nigeria. It's getting more and more dangerous. So these people were said to be traveling, about 16 of them, 20-something of them in number, traveling back to the north from hunting in the south of Nigeria. So I would wonder why somebody will choose to go all the way from the north of Nigeria to go and begin to hunt in the south of Nigeria. You know, that story is not adding up. We're going to be asking questions about that. Yes, I know I live in the United States. I used to do fishing. You know, I know that whenever it is time for you, you have to go and obtain a license to be able to fish. The same thing with hunting. Most people who hunt here, they don't go into forest and then start hunting. But for you to leave your natural habitat and go to somewhere else in a strange land, to go into the forest there to begin to hunt. I've never heard about it and just hearing it. When I was in Nigeria, we never saw any such thing. There was nothing like that. We did have traditional hunters who were from those localities. Those are the ones I knew. I didn't even know that there were hunters anymore because I don't think there were all those big forests that people could go and hunt. But this is what we are hearing now about hunting in Nigeria. This is news to me. So I've been wondering why someone will leave Kano, how someone will leave Sokoto and go to Delta, for instance, to become a hunter. I don't understand it. It's not adding up. But before I continue, I'm going to say something right quick about the laws in Nigeria. Because as lawless as Nigeria is, Nigeria has laws regulating the use of guns and other ammunition. I'm going to read just a little bit and get the very important part so we can flow in this discussion. So we can dispel all the lies that some people are creating to create tension in our country. All right, this is a research work done by Eferamo Iseo. Okay, introduction. Guns, also known as firearms under the Nigerian law, have been in existence since the 10th century. It has from the early days provided protection and security for people, and where not properly controlled is known to cause grievous harm and mass destruction in the society. This is the reason why countries of the world regulate firearms in their societies. Some countries go as far as accounting for every bullet that circulates in their territories. This is the relevance and sensitive nature of firearms in society. This article seeks to examine the current gun regulations in Nigeria, the reception and the effect of these laws in the society, and the next step to be taken in order to achieve a well-regulated firearm environment for citizens of Nigeria. All right, that's part. Now, the Firearm Control Act number 32 of 1959, captioned F-28 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. All right, this act has been responsible for the control of firearms in Nigeria for the last 67 years. The act provides that no person shall have in his possession or under his control any firearm or ammunition except such person has a license from the president or the inspector general of police. Is there anybody asking questions about if these people who were said to be hunters did have a license to carry the kind of firearms they were alleged to have been carrying? All right, it states further that no license or permit to carry firearms should be granted to the following people: applicants under the ages of 17. What are the ages of these people? Yes, nobody is asking question about that. Persons who are of unsound minds, all right, who has psychoanalyzed these people that they are okay. Persons not fit to have possession of these firearms in question on account of defective eyesight. Did they have any medical report, about these people? And the persons of intemperate habits, or anyone who has been convicted of an offense involving violence or the threat of violence during the previous 5 years. Except licensed firearm dealers, it is unlawful for anyone to buy or sell firearm or ammunition. Case closed there. Nigeria is a lawless place. Now, we jump on emotion when we react, when we do things. And the reason why I decided, I had a different reaction. I've already condemned the act of jungle justice, because nobody has a right to take anybody's life that he did not make. The only man who can take life is supposed to be the Almighty God. Or when you kill someone, yes, when you kill someone, the state puts you through trial. And if you are found guilty and the punishment is capital punishment, then you have to go in for it. That's the much I know. But individuals in Nigeria now are now taking laws into their hands. And those who fund banditry and terrorism, and those who think that they own Nigeria and want to take it violently, have armed their militias, yes, and terrorists and mercenaries, yes, in Nigeria, to sack villages, kill people in the villages, scare them out of their villages, and take control of those villages. Yes, in my own hometown, in Delta State of Nigeria, in my own hometown, over 100 people have been murdered since the past 3 years. And this has become like a normal thing for the people. I come from an agrarian community in Delta State. We are farmers. Yes, the mainstay of our economy is farming. And I tell you, since the past 3 years, the people from my place have been starving, yes, because they are not able to go to their farms anymore. And the reason is because these armed bandits who are of the Fulani tribe have taken over their farmlands and taken over strategic forests across Nigeria. So when you go in there, they kidnap you. When they kidnap you, they make you pay ransom. If you are not able to pay ransom, they will kill you, slaughter you, and take your body parts for sale elsewhere. So it's the racketeering is crazy. It's hard. So the people now live below poverty line. Yes, some are migrating out of the town. My town has become desolate as we speak. And then now it's being repopulated. This was the same thing this group did in 1804 to the Hausa tribe in the north of Nigeria. Yes, the Hausa tribe constitutes a great percentage, a major percentage of the entire Nigerian population. And guess what? They live under the subjugation of a minority, Osman and Fodio Fulani, a group. They have the population, but whoever is to rule them is always a Fulani minority. Yes. They have been subjugated for a total of 221 years. This obnoxious minority, for some strange reason, I don't know what they did, they control the country's armed forces, they control the country's police, they control all strategic institutions in Nigeria. And they unleash those institutions, their access to power in those institutions, to repress and distort, make Nigeria dysfunctional. They are not great leaders. With the access they had to power, Tony Amato, thank you very much. How are you? With the access they have to power, they could have turned Nigeria into heaven on earth. But they did the opposite of destroying everything in Nigeria. Every time they want to be in charge. And how have they been able to control Nigeria till this minute? They use the Hausa population as a weapon. They use their population during elections. They use their populations during population census. The total number of the Fulanis in Nigeria, the total is not up to 10 million. But Nigeria has a population of over 250 million people. The elites, the very corrupt elites, mark it. I have a lot of good Fulani friends who are very pissed off with what some of them are doing. Those in the political class, they are the ones holding Nigeria to ransom. There were Fulanis who came before us, Madam Fodio. Those ones, you see them, they mingle with people. Some of them are Christians. They are very moderate. You don't see them making trouble. You don't see them. But these troublesome ones, the troublesome Fulanis, are the ones with the ties to Osman and Fodio. So let us, and they always have ambition to control. When you are around them, they want to be in charge. Not because they know anything, but that's their nature. So if you allow them a yard, they will take a mile. That is how they have run our country aground. Nigerians have taken them for granted for a very long time, not knowing what they are capable of doing. Now everybody is in a lockdown in Nigeria, requiring that the only way out is for Nigerians to fight themselves away by all means necessary, because they don't believe in democracy. They don't believe in anything. They use violence. They are driven by a jihad with the prongs of economics, politics, finance. Yes, that is what. They are not true Muslims. They don't believe in God. They are the biggest thieves in Nigeria. All those who have stolen so badly in Nigeria are there. They are from there. Look at what Buhari brought into Nigeria. Yes, his entire cabinet were almost 80% Fulanis. Not just Fulanis, bad Fulanis, horrible Fulanis, thieves, those with ties to various terrorist organizations, including Buhari himself. He is the grand patron of Boko Haram, Amieti Allah. Yes, that sponsored the killing of Nigerians in the northwest, in the north central, now spreading it down south of Nigeria. That is what they are. And this is why Nigerians have no choice but to rise up. Now, these people that they killed, I don't know why they killed them. I don't know what happened. But for some people to trail some people and arrest them at Uromi and then bring them out, cite them to find that they had guns, yes. I think a few weeks earlier, there were people who were murdered in that part of those states. So the people are angry. People are angry because we do not have a government. If we had a government that can enforce its laws, Nigeria won't be where she is right now. My problem is the selective application of laws. Now, this brings me to politicians in Nigeria. Politicians, the greatest liars, politicians, evil in Nigeria. It's so bad. Politicians in Nigeria, I'm not sure there is anything, any group of politicians as bad as Nigerian politicians. They are thieves, they are rogues, they are terrorists, they are everything evil. They are about themselves, but the people. They don't care about anybody but themselves. They don't care about anybody but their families. They don't care about anybody, yes, but stealing from the country, looting the country, yes, looting. Now, there is Atiku Abubakar. Before I go. In 2023, a young girl at the Shehu Shagari College of Education, her name is Deborah Yakubu. If you follow, her story became a global story. She was a student of home economics at the Shehu Shagari College of Education in Sokoto, where they have the emir of their caliphate, or the sultan, they call him Sultan of Sokoto. But he's sitting illegally and illegitimately on the thrones of the Hausa people that his ancestors violently took from them in a jihad. They call it 1804 jihad. Yes, that was how they seized the Hausa land and all the kingdoms that the Hausa people had. Yes. So far, they have held the Hausa people in captivity for 221 years this year. And then they brought that mindset of controlling the Hausa people into Nigeria at independence. And now they are spreading, according to, before Madam Fodo, their grandfather, the patron of terrorism that they call jihad. He told them that they must not stop until they dipped the Quran in the Atlantic. Yes, in the Atlantic. Well, guess where the Atlantic is? It's in my Delta state where I come from. Yes, they dip it. So that signals their total takeover of Nigeria. So it's a generational thing that they have been carrying out from one generation to generation. They come through politics. When they are not able to do anything through politics, they unleash violence. This exact same thing that they did to the Hausa people is what they are doing in Nigeria as a nation state. So they murdered Deborah Yakubu for alleged blasphemy. What is blasphemy? That she blasphemed against Muhammad. Muhammad is not God. That he had blasphemed against Muhammad, allegedly. And they killed her. Not just killing her, they set her ablaze. Nobody, as we speak, nobody. Nigeria, my country, Nigeria with a constitution. And I discovered too that Nigeria has a law against blasphemy, with which they could have tried her instead of taking laws into their hands. So they took laws in their hands, slaughtered the girl, burnt her to pieces, ashes. Yes. Slaughtered her and burnt her to ashes. Yes. Hold on. Let me show you something. The people of the world. So you see the hell Nigeria is descending into. But the people of Nigeria don't even understand what is about to take place in their country. They are still thinking that the Almighty God is going to come down to save them. Instead of them waking up, they are not doing that. This is Deborah Yakubu. Look at her in her grave. You see that? Are you seeing this? Yes, that's me raising my hand. But if you look below there, you will see Deborah Yakubu. Hold on. I'm showing you the wrong picture. Let's get to the real picture. Okay. We get to the right picture. So you can see the kind of hell Nigeria has gotten into. Wait a minute, please bear with me while I search for this. How come this? All right, let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I will get it so I share you how wicked man has become. And you call me a fellow Nigerian. You hate me so much to the extent that you will kill me. All right? Because I do not belong to the same religious sect with you, or because I don't come from the same part of Nigeria with you. I don't think I want to be that Nigerian. I don't want to be that Nigerian. I love all Nigerians with all my life. I love them with everything that I possess. But for you to do this to me, yeah, this is Deborah Yakubu in her grave. That's a picture right there. Yes, a young girl. They murdered her. How barbaric Nigerians are. They murdered her. The state governor did nothing. President Muhammadu Buhari at the time said nothing. The impostor there, sitting on the throne of the Hausa people that had called himself Sultan of Sokoto, did nothing. The state governor, Aminu Tambuwa, who wanted to be the president of my country, did nothing. Nobody did anything. Atiku Abubakar, who was running to be president at the time, tried to make a political statement. He tweeted his condemnation of the killing. He described it as barbaric, but within a few seconds, he deleted it because he was threatened. His political future was on the line. So he took sides with Satan to save his political career. And I'm happy how the election ended for him. But sad that the election was awarded to a drug dealer, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, so today, with this killing, these people who were murdered, sadly, come from the north of Nigeria. They are my brothers. I don't see them as northerners. They make me say, these idiots who claim to be northern leaders, and by the way, majority of them are non-Nigerians. Some are Arabs. Some come from Mauritania. Some come from Sudan. Yes, but because Nigeria is such a porous place, we are welcoming. They sit down there become anything. And because in the north of Nigeria, people speak Hausa, when you're able to speak Hausa, you are from Mali, you are from Niger, you come and get benefit from Nigeria. That is another reason why terrorism in Nigeria will not end. Yes. Chadians will come into Nigeria to take benefits from Nigeria. Nigeria is like the United States, but we don't build walls. We are not building walls against fellow Africans. They can come, but they must be responsible. But sadly, they have not been responsible. They come and become terrorists. Buhari is from Niger. He's not a Nigerian. Buhari benefited so much from Nigeria. He went through Nigerian military school for free. He rose to the rank of a general in Nigeria. He became a head of state in Nigeria. Somebody who is not from Nigeria. Yeah, because these people in the north of Nigeria, the language and the religion, when they call, okay, Namu, they call it Namu. That's what we call Namu mentality. It's our own. It's one of us. They see me, who come from Nigeria, an aborigine, who come from Nigeria, as a threat and as someone that they cannot deal with. They will prefer to deal with a Chadian who is a Muslim and put him into leadership line to be leader in Nigeria. So majority of the people who say they are northern leaders are non-Nigerians. We are going to now start investigating them and start deporting them. Yes. During population censuses in Nigeria, they bring Nigerians to be counted as Nigerians. They bring Chadians to be counted as Nigerians. They travel as far as Mauritania to bring people to be counted as Nigerians. They bring Malians to be counted as Nigerians. We didn't have any problem with that. But they give these fake numbers that the North is more in number than the rest of Nigeria. But as a reproductive biologist and as a scientist, we know the conditions that favors fertilization, no matter how many places they go and import people. And the same people give us the baloney that Kano State has a huge population bigger than. I lived in Kano for 8 years, for goodness sake. I traveled the whole of the North. And the colonial labor officer who worked in Nigeria, in his confession, Aaron Smith, in his confession before he died, he said, talked about all the fraud that they helped the North. They call them North. That is where they are not. We not go away from them. How they helped them rig the population census. How they helped them rig the election of 1959. Yes. They hate accountability. They hate the truth. And they come and tell us when they like that we are one Nigeria. They turn themselves into overlord over the rest of us. The moment to say no is now. They don't want us to count Nigeria, not because we care, but for strategic national planning. And especially at a time like this, when the national security of the country is compromised, we should be able to track criminals. Let them be counted. We don't care whether they are Chadians or whether they are Malians, whether they are Nigerians, whether they are Libyans. Come, let us count you. Put your hand. Let us thumbprint you so we'll be able to know. They don't want that. Yes. In 2015, the then president of Nigeria, Jonathan Goodluck, the man who ought to save Nigeria but turned his back because of his greed for power. After Dr. Festus Odumegu had mapped out Nigeria for a scientific head count, these criminals, these rogues, these non-Nigerians who parade themselves as northern leaders came to him that he should remove Dr. Festus Odumegu from power so that they will support him for his second tenure. He did that. But what did he get? He got a slap in his face. And a terrorist in the person of Muhammadu Buhari was elected. That was what they wanted to accomplish. And since then, Nigeria has not known peace. Buhari was protecting the terrorists. All the arms and ammunition that America sold to Nigeria ended up in the hands of Boko Haram and Fulani bandits to keep us where we are. They are now effectively in control. They were behind Bola Ahmed Tinubu coming to power when the whole of the country rejected him. The whole of the country rejected him. They were the one. They used the army that they control. They used the judicial system. Our judiciary is messed up. Yes. Nigeria is the first country on earth that produced a Supreme Court, the Chief Justice of Federation that had no law degree. Yes. His degree was Sharia. Yes. Nigeria, under Buhari. His Attorney General was never known to be any lawyer of any repute. For the 8 years they were in power, they were protecting Boko Haram. No terrorist was sent to jail. None. Under Abubakar Malami. Yes. Issa Pantami was driven away from Saudi Arabia for his ties to Boko Haram, or to terrorist organizations. Yes, he was removed from Saudi Arabia. Gumi, who is making a lot of noise, causing confusion, going to the forest to aid and abet bandits. He was driven from Saudi Arabia because of his tie to terrorist groups. Abdul Muttalab, that was arrested and sent to Guantanamo Bay, where he's serving his jail time right now, was connected to Ahmad Gumi. He was the last one he spoke to before he boarded the plane to the United States, in which he wanted to blow up the U.S. jetliner. America, I'm calling you, Donald Trump, I hope you are listening. And then agents of Donald Trump, send this message to him. The trouble with Nigeria, the terrorism in Nigeria, comes from these people that call themselves northern leaders. They are the backbone of terrorism in Nigeria. Kenny, how are you? Thank you very much. Yes, they are behind Boko Haram. They are behind the Fulani bandits. Fulani bandits is a step down of Boko Haram. They are the same thing, one and the same thing. They morph depending on where they are. A day is coming. Yes, if Nigerians don't stand up and recharge to take their country, because the country has been circled, a day will come and they will come out from the forests. Yes, they will come out from the forest and seize Nigeria. They have sized up Nigeria. They control the armed forces. They control everything in Nigeria. They control the court system. They control everything. They have taken over the oil, our oil in Niger Delta. Yes, they control it. Yes. Look at a man, Kiari, the managing director of NNPC. For more than 20 years, 10 years or 15 years he has been there. The NNPC has not made any penny of profit. And Nigeria keeps investing in NNPC. What was the result? A long-term project that they have been working on was hatched last year. Dangote Refinery. Nigerians are sleeping. Very stupid people. When I tell them they are stupid, they are like, yes, you are playing politics. APC, a terrorist organization. Yes. The vehicle for the destruction of Nigeria. They have seized Nigeria. Nigeria is in their palm. What can we do? The only thing we can do is to fight. Fight. I have no idea. Honestly, there is no reason. The ordinary Nigerian is with the Burkina base. Every ordinary Nigerian like me, we work with Ibrahim Traore. Yes. How are you? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Ibrahim Traore is the president of Africa right now. Yes, I agree with him. And we will reach out to him. We are looking for ways. I'm actually trying to look for a way to interview him as a start. Yes, the guy is a thorough African leader. He was the one who rejected Saudi Arabia coming to build a 200 mosque in his country. He said, no, we don't need your mosque. He's a Muslim. He's a responsible, he's a responsible, he's a responsible Muslim. He's not an idiot. He told Saudi Arabia, you know how they try to come into the country. If it was Nigeria, they would jump at it. He told them, if you want to build anything, come and build school, build hospitals. We don't need any mosque. We have more than enough mosque. Saudi Arabia is a big sponsor of terrorism. Yes. Yes, Okeni, thank you. Say, I love to hear that. By the way, I'm from Uganda. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. So how are you guys dealing with Museveni there? That's another trouble right there. Africa. But you know what? We're going to get it right. We are coming. A massive African revolution is in the offing. Nigeria has been in the obstacle. But in no time, we'll make a bold statement. Thank you. So these northern leaders now are raising dust, whatever they call it. I don't recognize them. All I know is Nigeria, but they call themselves northern leaders. They are losing ground every day. Everybody is rejecting them because everybody now knows that they are trouble. Nobody wants them, but they are looking for ways to remain relevant. So those ones, Atiku Abubakar, a man who has run for the presidency of Nigeria for how many times? A thief, actually, a criminal. Yes. He stole money and was involved with Congressman William Jefferson here in the United States. Yeah, Halliburton scandal. William Jefferson went to jail for 13 years. Atiku, the FBI was looking for him. He already sold his house that he has in Potomac, Maryland, and ran back. Since then, he couldn't come to the United States. The only first time he had come to the US, he came in the diplomatic bag of the then Senate president, another idiot, Saraki. Yes. So, but within 24 hours, he was on his way because I think the FBI was about to bust him. He ran. So his USA now is Dubai. He can't come here anymore. But he sold his house here in Potomac, Maryland. Big, massive house. He's a thief. So Nigeria gives, part on the back of criminal. America jailed his cohort here. Yeah, but he has been running for presidency. And they say he's still running. He wants to run for presidency of, I don't know which country. Not the Nigeria that I know. That is going to change. Okay, he said, Museveni, we love him because he has ushered the real peace. Although we still need to see transformation from low income to, okay, well, if you say it's working, but the story we hear about him, about his human rights record, how he abuses, and then he wants to put his son as the next president. I don't think those are inspiring. And then his daughter is the governor of the Ugandan Central Bank. I don't think those are inspiring. But if you guys are happy with that, that is your country. But I think we can do better in Africa, for real. We can do a lot better. Yes, if his leadership is not transforming the low-income earner, then we have a problem with that. Yeah, but there are certain things he does that I feel like, okay, a flicker of good things, but those things are just peripheral. But we can do better as the African people. And we are working. We are not sleeping. That is why we are working seriously on Nigeria to change. So now, what is happening in Nigeria this minute now is that with the killing, sad killing of these people who, though from what we hear, are in possession of illegally acquired firearms that they are not supposed to have. Yes, they have violated the laws of Nigeria. They are not supposed to have such ammunition on them. Yeah, but I want to make sure that they have license to use all those ammunition. But I can tell you that they are most likely to not have. And for someone to travel from the north of Nigeria, from Kano, for goodness sake, to come and become a hunter in Delta and in rivers and other places, I do have a big question, especially with the way the country's security is right now. And all the people who are kidnapping and killing our people are in the forest, doing the business of kidnapping. I am concerned about that. So now, people are not looking at all those variances, all those things that we talked about, what someone must do, to possess an ammunition. You have to register, you have to be 18. Who knows? I'm seeing a lot of young people, among those people that I see some people who were protesting and stuff like that. There are more young people. I'm not sure they were up to 18, or because they deny them access to education. They don't have education. So when they deny them or that, now they begin to use them to do all kinds of things. They will transport them. They come in a Dangote's trailer to come to other parts of Nigeria to become agents of Satan in other places. They are Nigerians. They are supposed to be Nigerians. But how are they conducting themselves where they live is a question that we need to answer, especially at a moment like this. So now they are making a political issue out of it, that they killed Northerners, not Nigerians. Are they not Nigerians? They killed Northerners. Now, they are not talking about Deborah. These same people who kept quiet when Deborah was killed are now talking loudest. I'm talking about Atiku Kwankwaso. I'm talking about Atiku and a great slaughter of them, including their eminently corrupt governors who they say they are spoiling for war. I don't know who they are spoiling for war with. Yes, shameless people. So now they are making a political issue out of it. In a supposed one country, why are you talking about the North? Why are you talking about Northerners were killed? Why are you not talking about that Nigerians were killed? Okay, Nigeria is supposed to be the powerhouse of Africa, yes. And that should not only be in football or Nollywood. Nigeria must help lift Africa from my poverty. The resources are there. The people are skilled. Yes, now tomorrow Muslims are celebrating Eid. Yes, you have to wish them, Yeah, I wish them well. And I wish them well. They expect the good Muslims. I have a lot of friends who are Muslims, really. Some of my closest confidant in what I am doing are Muslims. I'm talking about their comrade Ali Meishano. I'm talking about Aisha Tajibola and all of that. They are not stupid Muslims. They are moderate Muslims. They know Muslims. Islam does not permit them to do all the kind of crazy. They are not hypocrites. So these northern leaders are hypocrites. Their governors are hypocrites. The one they call us Sultan is a big hypocrite, a corrupt and morally bankrupt man. I'm not going to wish him any happy thing. He's an evil man. He doesn't deserve any good wishes from someone like me. No, I am a thorough Nigerian. I love everybody. I'm not even a Christian. Yeah, but I love everybody. All I see, when I see you, I see Nigeria, I see Africa. I don't care where you come from. But when you violate my rights, I am not going to be afraid or scared or ashamed of standing up, for my rights. That is why I differ. So these people are creating tension, making it like some citizens of another country were murdered. The same people who keep quiet when other people, the same people who have kept quiet when people in my state, yes, I'm talking about over 1,000 people have been murdered by this assailant that they put in our bush. You don't hear them say anything. They keep quiet. When they do that, they will say, Allahu Akbar. We can't continue like that. They are hypocrites. They are bigots. And they do not merit to lead a herd of cattle. And that is why no Nigerian, listen, this brand of criminals should never be allowed to lead any aspect of Nigeria going forward. They have been tested and they have proved to be failures. They know now that they are in a tight corner. So they want to quickly be the great people who want to protect the Hausa people that they have subjugated for 221 years. The Hausa man, let me tell you something. It is up to you to free yourself now. It is up to you to allow them play you like they have played you for centuries. It is up to you to fall for their subjugating act. It is now up to you to stand up. Yes, if the people who were murdered were Hausas, it's sad that they have to be murdered, it happened to them. It happened to me. It has happened to so many people. So now, going forward, when it happens anywhere, all of us must unite to condemn them wherever it happens, and those who are responsible for them. But the culture of you keeping quiet when other people are suffering, you see, it comes back to haunt us. When you celebrate injustice against some people, remember that a day will come when you become a victim of injustice. So we can live together as one. We can unite and build one country. Yes, one great open country with free, fair, equal, unlimited and unconditional access to all of us to grow and develop, progress and prosper. Yes, according to our abilities and levels of competency in a non-threatening and non-violent environment. That is what we need. Nigeria has so much to go around everybody. I'm not supposed to be talking about my oil in Niger Delta if Nigeria was working for everybody. Now, yes, the same country that we have. Resources from one part of the country is used to develop the others. But the resources from other parts of the country, especially in the north, where they have a lot of solid minerals, they are not used for the benefit of Nigeria. And you think the whole of us are stupid and quiet. Something has to change. It's either we change it, or those who don't want to be part of Nigeria, they are free to leave. Let us stop all these false pretenses, because it's not working anymore. The country is at a halt right now. Yes, needing a driver to drive it beyond where it is stuck. And it's going to be a driver driven by love for country, a driver driven by honesty, a driver driven by the sense of responsibility and duty, a driver driven by accountability and transparency. Yes, that will inspire a new system. This old Nigerian system is dead and it's not taking us anywhere. It benefits only criminals at the expense of all of us. Why should we have to continue to do with it? No, we don't have it. We don't need it anymore. The system should die. The Nigeria we have right now should die. All those who make trouble in the name of the North, you are not Nigerians. So we will deport you. Yes, Nigerians will deport you. Nigerians will unite, yes, like never before, because they are beginning to see through what has been happening to them. They are beginning to see the light. Behave yourselves now, and then let us build a real Nigeria where no man shall be threatened. Bye for now. I love all of you who tuned in to be part of this historic moment. I appreciate you so badly. And for those who died, we pray that God will, I hope you were right on earth so that God will forgive you your sins. But if you were wrong on earth, if you killed people, if your mission to wherever you were traveling out for, armed, was for any wrong reason, be sure you will go to hell. So that's what it is. Hey, much love, order out of chaos. I hope we get it, man. Yes, I hope we get it. I hope we get it, man. I'm believing that a new dawn is imminent for Nigeria. No matter how bleak it is, we still love the country and hope that something will happen. Something will happen, and it got to happen. Bye for now. Much love from here, and have a great weekend.